Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Even the great ocean was perturbed by the falling of the mountain-like body of the transcendental boar, and it appeared to be frightened as if death were imminent. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the description continues of the appearance of Lord Varaha. Lord Varaha has appeared because the demigods headed by Brahma prayed that the earth be removed out of the Garbhodaka ocean, because the earth is a resting place for so many living beings who are to be created by Swayambhuva Manu. So the Lord has appeared in His extraordinary form as a boar, and the form is very, very big. How big is the form? It is spread in the sky, covering the 3 planetary systems. Brahmaloka, below that, Tapoloka, below that, Janoloka. And the residents of these 3 planets are able to see that form in the sky. The huge form, the form of the Lord as Varaha, boar-like form. Now, some idea of the form, how big the form was, is given when the description was there. That they saw the form of the Lord Varaha, covering the sky as big as the 3 planetary systems. But earlier, there was also a description that the Lord, to indicate that He is the Supreme Lord who has appeared in this form, He roared like a big mountain. So how loud was this roaring? That is indicated that the roaring power is in proportion to the size. So the volume of the sound vibrated is in proportion to the size of the material body, in case somebody has a material body. But you know that the Lord has no material form. His form is transcendental. So His roaring was much, much greater than the roaring of the biggest mountain. in this whole material creation. That is the first point. Second point is, his roaring is very meaningful. It is identified by the great devotees as the sound of the Vedas. The Vedas are originating from the Supreme Lord. Different descriptions are there in the different parts of the Vedas. In one of the Upanishads it is said, by his breathing he produced the Vedas. Then it is also said, he instructed the Vedas, first of all, to Brahma, from within the heart of Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. Then it is also said that he spoke the Vedas to different devotees in the beginning. So, different descriptions are there. In any case, the sound vibrated by the Lord is all transcendence. It is transcendental knowledge. Any sound vibrated by the Supreme Lord is transcendental knowledge. Also, it is said that Krishna played on his flute, and the sound of that flute entered the ear holes of Brahma at the beginning of creation. And that was the Gayatri mantra. So Brahma was initiated into the Gayatri mantra by Krishna himself. And that's how Brahma became enlightened Brahmana. He became enlightened in the transcendental subject matter by Krishna instructing him through this Gayatri mantra. And that Gayatri mantra in our sampradaya is coming down in our parampara. Krishna to Brahma, Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasa, Vyasa to Madhvacharya, like that it is coming down. So, that Gayatri mantra is nothing but the origin of the Vedas. So, Brahma was given the Vedic knowledge initially as the seed of that knowledge in the form of the Gayatri mantra. The Gayatri mantra contains the essence of all Vedic knowledge. Being non-different from the Supreme Lord, the Gayatri mantra actually is identical with the Supreme Lord. So, knowledge about Krishna is there in the Gayatri mantra. Knowledge about Krishna is fully there in the Pranava, Omkara. At the beginning of the creation, there was this sound of Om. Another description is there. All the Vedic mantras, they begin with this Om. That's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Pranavas sarva vedeshu. Pranavas sarva vedeshu. He is the Om, Pranava, in all Vedic mantras. Even the Bhagavatam, it begins with Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Even the Gayatri mantra begins with Om. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. It begins with Om. Even the famous mantra in the Rig Veda, Om Tad Vishno Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surayah. All Vedic mantras begin with Om. Pranavas Sarva Vedeshu. So, that beginning Om itself is actually, Jiva Goswami explains this. Om means Radha and Krishna. Om means Radha and Krishna. Krishna, especially with his internal potency. When we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, that Hare Krishna means Radha Krishna, means Om, means the absolute truth, means the complete transcendence. So when we chant Hare Krishna mantra, it is the complete mantra. It fully represents or fully is the Supreme Lord with his internal potency, especially his internal potency. So, when Lord Varaha roared very, very loudly, that loud sound resounded in the entire universe. Entire universe. It was heard. But who could make out what is this sound? Only the devotees. Only the devotees could make out. So the devotees recognized that the Lord has appeared in this transcendental form, in this extraordinary form of Varaha. And they began to offer prayers. Now to confirm that those prayers are meant for him, he again responded by roaring again. He again responded by roaring. And he pleasingly, lovingly glanced upon the devotees. That description was there earlier. Now, he's come for a purpose, to rescue the earth. So where is the earth? In the bottom of the Garbhodaka ocean. So he is to go inside the ocean and then rescue that. Now go to the depth of the ocean. He is diving from the top of the sky. He is diving into the ocean. You know the description, the ocean is half covering the Garbhodaka, the shell of the universe, half filled with that Garbhodaka water, the Garbha ocean. All the planets are floating on top of the ocean in the sky. So he is coming from the top of the universe, diving into the ocean. So much force, because it's a gigantic body. Very, very big form. It says here, Vajrakuta Anga. Body like a great mountain. Body is huge. Very big mountain. What is that mountain doing? It is splitting, dividing the middle of the ocean. Dividing the middle of the ocean. And the ocean divided is appearing like two high waves as the arms of the ocean. Ocean is a huge body also of water. It's not a small body. It's a huge body. That body is getting divided into two huge waves appearing as if like the arms are raised of the ocean. Gigantic ocean with arms raised. How it will appear? Like that it is appearing. And it is appearing as if the ocean is crying, please do not cut me into two. Kindly give me protection. Pahi me. Please protect me. Yagneshwara pahi me. Yagneshwara. The Lord is being recognized as Yagneshwara, the object of all sacrifices. Here it is said, the master of all sacrifices. Ishwara, the master of all sacrifices. Yajna Ishvara. Yagneshwara pahi me, please protect me. Do not cut me into two. The force of that Lord Varaha diving into the ocean was so great that it could have emptied the entire ocean. It could have emptied the entire ocean. So, from the scriptures, we understand that even though the ocean may be thought of as just some body of water which is lifeless, water doesn't have life. So, a body of water is thought of something impersonal, but actually, it is not impersonal. Just like we have got this body which is made up of matter, but this body is animated by the spirit soul. Similarly, the ocean, the mountain, they are also body, and that body has got inside a living spirit soul. That's why it is said, the ocean cried loudly. Crying is done by a person, not impersonal. Crying means person. So ocean is crying. So what is the meaning of ocean crying? Ocean is a person. Ocean is a person. So sometimes you hear in the scriptures, ocean personified. When Lord Rama was planning to cross the Indian Ocean with the whole monkey army. You heard in the Ramayana this story. So then Rama waited for Samudra Deva to come. But Samudra Deva, he thought, who is this person who has come with some huge number of monkeys? So he didn't pay attention to Lord Rama. So Rama sat on the bank of the ocean, waiting for Samudra Deva to come. And as he was waiting, his anger increased. And when his anger increased to a very, very great extent, he glanced at the ocean with red hot eyes. And that increased the temperature of the ocean to such an extent. Immediately the water in the ocean began to boil, and the aquatics all rushed to the Samudra Deva, who is giving them shelter, that kindly do something. The water is boiling. We'll all be killed. We'll all be cooked. We'll all be burnt by the boiling water if you don't do something. So then Samudra Deva suddenly came to his senses. What is this? I have neglected. This personality was come here to the shore of my ocean. So he came out and he paid immediately respects to Lord Rama and pacified Lord Rama, offering nice prayers. So then Lord Rama immediately, he is the Supreme Lord. So his anger is not like the anger of a conditioned soul. A conditioned soul becomes very angry. He can't immediately get pacified. Not possible. So Lord Rama immediately became pacified, and the ocean came back to its normal temperature immediately, instantaneously. If a huge body of water is heated by whatever means, it cannot be immediately cooled. It cannot be immediately cooled. Not possible. So this magic, or more than magic, I would say, this miracle, Lord Rama demonstrated. Who can just by glancing increase the temperature of the body of water called the ocean, so much so that aquatics will feel the heat? And who can cool the ocean instantaneously in a fraction of a second? Only the Supreme Lord. Nobody else can do it. So, Samudra Deva is a person. Indian Ocean is a person. That person's body is in the shape of a huge body of water. That is the body of the person. River Ganga is actually a devotee. Ganga Mai, devotee. So her body is in the shape of the river Ganga. Her body is in the shape of river Ganga. Just like we have got our spiritual form. We are not this body, right? We have got our spiritual form. Right now we're covered by this material form, but we got our spiritual form. Similarly, Ganga has got her spiritual form. In the spiritual form, she is rendering pure devotional service to Krishna in the spiritual world. But she appears in this world for the pastimes of the Lord and for the Lord's purpose. The Lord wants to deliver all the conditioned souls by freeing them from sinful reactions if they just go and take a dip in the river Ganga. So, the river is the body of the transcendental personality, Mother Ganga, Ganga Mai, who's pure devotee of Krishna. But she has appeared in the form of a river to deliver the conditioned souls on the order of the Supreme Lord. So, that Ganga is also a person. Yamuna Devi, she is person. She is also present in the form of a river. So her specific role in Krishna's pastimes. Krishna is to sport along with the cowherd boys, along with the gopis, along with the Brajavasis in Yamuna river. So Yamuna river is the place of Krishna's wonderful pastimes, Krishna Leela in Vrindavan. Yamuna also purifies anybody who takes bath in the Yamuna river. She also purifies. Yamuna also awards Krishna Bhakti. Those who ever take bath in the Yamuna river. She also awards Krishna Bhakti. So like this, we should understand when it is said the ocean cried loudly, it is not a poetic description alone. Sometimes people say, nice poetry. Utsrishta dirghormi bhujairi vartaha chukrosha yagneshwara pahimeti. Beautiful poetry. Very nice. Simile is given. It's not just a simile. It's actually a fact. Ocean personified is crying. Please protect me. Do not destroy me. So Prabhupada says, even the great ocean was perturbed by the falling of the mountain-like body of the transcendental boar, and it appeared to be frightened as if death were imminent. How much afraid was the ocean? As if I'm going to die. I'll be finished. So, that was the size of Lord Varaha. That was the size of Lord Varaha. Now, Prabhupada says it is justified because the Lord effortlessly lifted the earth planet, the huge earth planet, 4 billion miles in diameter. So you can just imagine if 4 billion mile big, huge ball is to be lifted from the bottom of the ocean, how big should the body of Lord Varaha be in relation to the size of the earth planet? How big? The tusk, 2 tusks between which that earth was supported is 4 billion miles diameter. 4 billion miles. Between the 2 tusks, what is the size? 4 billion miles. So how big is the body? Ordinary boar, if you see, the tusks will be so much apart. Say about 8 inches, 10 inches, maximum 1 foot. So 1 foot boar is so big. You've seen, no, boar? They sighted a boar in Ahobilam in one forest while going to Pavana Narsimha. So the boar is not like ordinary pig. It is very ferocious. Boar is very ferocious. So 2 types of pigs or boars. One is, boar specifically is not the stool-eating hog. Vitvaraha. Stool-eating hog is called Vitvaraha, which feeds on rubbish in gutters and all. No, this boar lives in the forest. And it is very, very fearsome. It has got this tusk. This Vitvaraha doesn't have tusk. It doesn't have tusk. This Varaha, boar, has got tusk. And the tusk was shining, brilliantly shining, of Lord Varaha. And on that, he lifted the earth from the depth of the ocean and brought it out and placed it back in its position, in its orbit. On the prayer of Lord Brahma, he did that. So that is a description here. Ocean personified became fearful of death when the Lord was diving inside and prayed, kindly protect me, do not divide me or cut me into 2. We'll see the further description in the next verse. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.